All right, we are live. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. I got everything ready to go here. I'm just making sure people can hear me. Welcome in, guys. Majid, Blackbird, Aiden, Apri, welcome. Kefren, Beekroz, welcome in. Corey, welcome in. Welcome. How is everybody doing? How did you guys all do yesterday? Hopefully everyone had a nice day yesterday. Clean levels yesterday. Very clean levels yesterday. Market moving in a nice trend on that start of the week on Tuesday. Welcome in. Little Tesla day yesterday. Little Tesla day. People had some fun. Tesla was a fun day yesterday. Tesla was nice. Nice trend entry. If you got a little break and retest on Tesla over 350, even 355. There actually were several entries on Tesla yesterday. Not just 350 break and retest, also 355 break and retest. Right. This was an incredible day yesterday in Tesla. Not only because there was an early morning entry, but because it provided other entries throughout the day. That's why Tesla was so beautiful. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Yes. Throw some likes if you guys can. It helps the algorithm. Throw some likes out. I always will. I always will beg for those likes. Welcome in, guys. Hope everybody had a nice day. Everyone's having a nice morning. Michael, welcome in. TJ Mack, nice. You full. I don't want to say nice to that. I can't say nice to that. I can't say nice to that. You can't say you full ported spy. And I'm gonna. Oh man. I mean, I'm happy it worked out, but you got to make sure you're not full porting those anymore. Make that a one and done. Yes, Paris, absolutely. Welcome in. All right, cool. So let's get started, guys. So yesterday's session, obviously an eventful session, right? A nice trend day, right? And I think we all are given these days, and you have to be thankful of those type of days because we endure price action like Thursday's price action. We endure price action not like Wednesday, but like Tuesday's price action. We endure days like this, right? This is so important. We endure days like this for days like yesterday and days like that Wednesday, the 21st, right? So important to know that, right? Because not every day is going to be as beautiful as yesterday was. In today's session, we obviously are coming into today's session with an optimistic mindset, right? But we must know that sessions like yesterday are ones that don't happen all the time. Maybe they happen once a week or twice a week. We must be executing on days like yesterday, and we must also trail our positions so that all the wins those small wins you've been stacking up, those small losses you've been stacking up too, they all get completely taken away by one beautiful win, one beautiful trend day in the market. That's the most important thing, is understanding that these days do happen. And if you are one that gets in at 350, you take a little shot on Tesla, you're in at 350, right? And you take profit at 381, right? That's the wrong idea. Okay, that's the absolute wrong idea. Trend was very much so intact yesterday, and you executed and you had a good day. Be proud of yourself and come into today's session with the proper mindset. We're gonna go over Tesla, we'll go over Nvidia, we're gonna go over something so important on the QQQ. It's perhaps the most important level. We are sitting at it right now. We're all staring at it. We're just looking at this together right now. 522.50. It's the most clean level on the Qs. On the 1 hour, on the 4 hour, on the daily. It's the most important level today, perhaps of any ETF out there. Okay, we're going to talk about it. We're going to go over AMD 116. We're going to go over Amazon 206.50. We're going to go over Apple 200. We're going to go over Microsoft 460. We're going to go over Meta 643 again, the same level that I probably sound so stupid for coming into these sessions talking about Meta with the same thing every single day, but I'm still going to say it, 643, and we'll talk about it. So it's a very important session today. We're going to dive into it, and we are going to move on, right? So today is Wednesday. It is the 28th of May. Today's session, it is the Nvidia day. It is not your day. If it is your birthday today, it is still not your day. This is Nvidia day, okay? You must understand that. This is Nvidia's day. It's not your day. I don't care if it's your birthday. It's Nvidia's day today. Nvidia today earnings, okay? CRM earnings as well, C3 AI earnings as well. But obviously, Nvidia is the big one. We must understand that, okay? All right, I'm just joking, guys. But anyway, Nvidia earnings after hours today's session. Be aware of that, okay? Going into Thursday's session, Foot Locker, Best Buy, Kohl's, Costco on Thursday after hours. Costco's a big one. Costco's a big one as well. So we'll talk about Costco. Costco being a big one. And then the economic calendar for today's session. Obviously, we know today is an OPEC session, so we're gonna have some oil stuff. If you are an oil trader, be careful. There's going to be headlines throughout the session today, right? On oil, probably some ups and downs on those oil names. Okay, you have Kashkari speaking overseas. Then you have FOMC minutes at 2 p.m., which is also a big data release today's session. So today's session is an important session. It's one that we must be aware of, especially at 2 o'clock. Okay, just don't be holding anything at 2 o'clock, right? That's the most important thing. Or be light size at 2 o'clock, right? So, official natural, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. It's kind of funny. I knew it was going to be someone's birthday in here, okay? All right. So, SPY chart. On the SPY chart, yesterday's session, what did we do? Yesterday, we did a sort of very, very classic gap and go, right? We saw a beautiful gap up in the market. We pulled back a little bit into a demand, right? A little bit of a demand on SPY, and we ripped. And the question becomes, Brett, why are you saying SPY pulled back into demand yesterday if that's clearly not the case? You can see, look at SPY, your level is there at 586. What the hell are you talking about? Well, it's a very good question. If you look at the ES chart yesterday, on the ES chart, there was one level we spoke about. It was 5870 and the golden level here at 5770. Those are the two levels we had in the ES chart, 5870, 5770. 100 points difference between these two levels, okay? The level we pulled back to yesterday's session after a nice gap up in the pre-market was he pulled back to that exact 5770 level here in ES's chart. So even though technically SPY didn't pull back to demand, well, ES did, right? ES did pull back to that level. And that's why we go over both ES and SPY, because sometimes you have a level in SPY and there's no level in ES and vice versa. So here in SPY's chart, obviously we pulled back to a level that really wasn't existing here in the SPY chart, but it was in ES. We ripped higher off that level. Market moved higher, okay? But it's important, before we even go into the intraday action today, the most important thing is we understand, we'll take 2 minutes today to talk about something on the daily. Okay, the daily 4-hour time frame. Let's go 4-hour time frame. So what we spoke about on Tuesday's session was we talked about this obviously happening, right? We spoke about the downtrend break, right? Obviously the downtrend breaking, and we spoke about the fact that even if we did pull back, right? Even if we did pull back, we would see upside, right? Basically, we're still bullish if we pull back, right? And the reason why we spoke about this idea yesterday, and something that I realized wasn't so clear when I was talking about this, was why is this bullish? Like, why would we even if we did pull back to 580, right? Why would that still be bullish? The reason why is because if you go to a larger time frame here for a second, right? And what we'll just make it so simple. We'll remove all of our drawings here, okay? If you just look at what's going on here in a larger standpoint, look at this level here at 576 here in SPY. This is it. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to show it to you. 576, daily 200 SMA, high, a breakout level, a retest that came in on Friday, right? We ripped higher off the level. So the big thing that's happening right now is that we are trading this intraday action, right? But we're trading this intraday action off of a larger time frame break, a retest, and an upside play, right? So that's what's going on here. This is a larger time frame break and retest, and we're all just little fish trading this upside momentum. Okay, so that's the larger term picture here. And if I go back to all the drawings I have here in SPY's chart, and really, you know what? Let's go to the daily so you can see it too. I want to go to the daily for 1 sec just so you can really get an understanding here, because not just the 4-hour, but also the daily, right? You can see the daily as well. Draw the level in so you can all see it. 576. You can really see how important 576 is. And you know that if we are above 576 on that daily time frame, we should, in theory, go higher back into 595, and then possibly even back into 613, right, which is our previous all-time highs here. That's a very important level. So just be aware of that. I want you guys to understand the larger picture here, not just all the smaller time frame stuff, because again, I think that was something we spoke about yesterday, but we didn't go into as much detail as we should have on Tuesday's session. Okay, so obviously market strong, right? Market gapped up on Tuesday. We did a little gap and go on Tuesday session. We are now above all our major levels, or above 589. 589, 590 was our big supply zone. Now the level to watch out for today on SPY's chart is two things to watch out for. Okay, the first level is going to be this high over here, this 592 high. 592 is resistance here on SPY. If we can break and hold above 592, we should see 594. And that's it. Remember we said 594, 595 on SPY daily time frame? Well, that's where we should move into. I think that we have a magnet here right now. There's a magnet here at 594, 595. If we can get above 592, I think we do get that little magnet move into the highs over here. So you can watch that for longs today. Is a break and hold above 592. That will be your first real play here in SPY. Okay. Obviously, if the market does pull back today, even if it pulls back today, even if it does this today, we're still bullish, right? We still must understand that we're still bullish on this chart as long as we're above 580 at this point. Okay. So what you should be looking for is you should look to see, if you're a SPY trader, look to see if we can get some pullback longs here at 590, 589, right? Look for that pullback long. Look for pullback longs here at 586 to 585. Again, that's your second pullback long. And then obviously your third pullback long is 581 to 580, which again is your third pullback long. So you have three different pullback longs today. They're all still valid, right? Now, the only real downside trades what you might get is you may get this. You may see us pop higher into our 595 level. You can look for some knee-jerk reactions for shorts there. It would be a potential trade today. Or you could look for shorts back under 589. And again, it's really not that incredible, because the downside only comes into that 586 level, which again is your next demand. So just be aware of that. Again, 592 supply, 589 demand. Those are your levels to watch out for in SPY's chart. Look for longs back at demand, longs back at demand, longs back at demand, and just be careful of resistance above us, right? 592 and 595 on SPY. Okay, fancy. That is awesome. Yes. I hope Nvidia rips as well. I hope Nvidia rips as well. But thank you very much, Fancy. Someone said full porting Microsoft calls. You can't stop me. Yeah, you're right. I can't stop you. We'll go over Microsoft. All right. So ES chart. On the ES chart, the levels are pretty much the same, right? So we had the level here at 5870, which was that obviously that level that was the low of yesterday's session, right? Low of yesterday's session, right? So I just want to write that in so I know it, right? So 5870, lows of yesterday's session. Obviously, it's your big demand zone. The next demand here is at 5924, 5924, 5925. You can see here we have a series of highs, and a series of breakouts that led to upside, right? And then obviously we pulled back, we failed it in downside move. So obviously the level to watch out for today's session on the ES chart is 5924. And in correlation to our SPY chart, what is that on SPY? Well, on SPY chart, that's just 589, right? So 589 and that 5924 here on ES, they're basically the same level, right? So that's your correlated levels here on ES and SPY, okay? So that's your first demand here on ES chart. So obviously we hold this upside. The resistance here, that's on SPY. Remember I said 592 on SPY? Well, the resistance on ES would be 5950 here on ES's chart. So that's this highs over here from Wednesday session. Remember that crazy downside move from Wednesday, right? Well, that occurred around 5950, 5951. So today's session, your resistance level is right there. That's your resistance, and this is your demand. Demand 1, demand 2, resistance 3. Okay, resistance 2, right? Those are your levels here on ES's chart. Your golden level is 5770. Remember we said the golden level on SPY, the golden level on ES is simply just 5770. Okay, what I want to do is I want to spend some time talking about one level today. It's this QQQ level. This, in my opinion, is not. I don't want to say the most. It is the most important level to watch out for today. But obviously you should watch SPY too, right? SPY is going to be important to look for those levels. But I think we should also be focused on Qs today. QQQ. 52250, right? This is the consolidation, and this is the level that we're either gonna break or we're gonna fail back lower again, right? The level that we must watch today here in Qs is simply right in front of us. It's 52250, it's 52250, it's 52250, it's 5222. 522. I'm all over the place with numbers today. Again, this is the level we're watching out for today, right? If we can break and hold above this level, we're gonna get that extension move higher. But as of right now, we are in resistance right now in Qs. So even though we are talking about all this bull case scenario here in SPY, right? Bull case scenario here in ES. Well, yeah, we're still bullish right now. The market's obviously still bullish, but we're bullish in supply, right? So let's see what happens here on the market. If we see us begin to reject here off this level, you don't really want to be involved in longs because you've seen the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times we have touched the supply. We are 6-0, right? We're 6-0 right now. 6 times we've lost, 0 times we've won, right? The bulls have lost 6 times so far into this level. Let's not be long into this level yet. I think we're going to break out eventually. Obviously, we will, right? And the more times you tap that level, right? The more times you tap that level, the more likely we are to break. So it's possible we do break this level. But again, we must wait and see if we can break this 52250. 0-6. Yeah, 0-6 would be the right way to say it. But again, 52260 is the big level today. Let's look and see if we can break above it. Obviously, 4-hour time frame. Where do we go if we break this level, right? The 0-6 level, right, is this, right? So if we break the 0-6 level, we're going higher back into this next extension move, which is 534. Arguably, you can see there is some resistance here at 531. So I'm going to draw that in as well. You can see what I'm talking about there. 531. Every time we break this 522.50, we see a move at least higher back into 531. So 535, 531, 530. So look for that today. Obviously, that's a big level. Also 528 too. So you do have some little levels here to watch out for, right? But again, your extension move today we must break these highs here. If we can break these highs here, upside. In terms of demand today, where's demand here in Qs? On the QQQ chart, you can see there is demand stepping up here now around this 517. So a level to watch out for longs on pullbacks today is going to be either 517 pullback long, right? Pullback long here 517, or break and hold above this 522.50 level for long side trades. That's all we have here in Qs, SPY, and ES's chart. We are now ready to move on to our other tickers today. Jetson, thank you, Jetson. That is very kind of you. AC Adams, yeah, just blame me. People tend to do that. People tend to do that, but that's okay. Keep doing it because remember, it's always easier to blame someone else. All right, so let's go over the big one, Tesla. Let's go over Tesla. Hopefully everybody had a good day on Tesla. Actually, you know what? NQ. Let's do NQ. You know what? Let's do NQ for a second. Obviously, we'll just because we're already in that ETF mindset. Let's just talk about this this indice, right? Indice being this level here, this NQ chart 21,558, right? The exact level is 21,558. It's the golden level here on NQ. This is your QQQ 522.50. We must break that for long side trades. Exact same mindset here on the NQ chart. Okay, 21,558. Right. Tesla. On the Tesla chart. Yesterday, finally, the 350 breakout resulted in some moves. And what I was saying before was these are the type of moves you want to be you want to do this. You don't want to. I'll tell you this honestly. Okay, this is my honest opinion here is when you get trades like this and you see the stock break out, pulls back to your level so beautifully, you got to take that retest. Right? You got to take the retest. You enter the retest long, you're happy, right? You take some profit off into highs. And I am probably the first person to take profit. I always take profit early, right? But the one thing that I will do, and I this is the most important part about my trading, is no matter what I'm in, I will try to hold it for as long as possible. And I will trail it out for as long as possible. And I will squeeze as much value as I can, even if I have just 5 contracts left. I am going to be there and I will maintain the position as long as it's holding EMAs, as long as it's holding structure. I'll give myself some sort of technical reason to hold the trade. If you got in this trade and you got in, you went in here, you took profit there and you walked away for a 10% gain, 15% gain, it's the wrong idea, right? It's the wrong idea. It's not the right idea because, again, trades like this are the ones that are going to make you all the money, right? You may make, $1,000 here, $500 there, $600 here and there, right? Off those 10, 20% trades. But trades like this are the ones that are going to make you the 5, 10K, right? They're the ones that are going to make you the 20K, the 30K, the 100K trade is this right in front of us, right? Because why? Why did this happen? Why did this trade trend so beautifully? We don't know. Nobody knows, right? But you have to trail your positions to allow for trades to happen like this. Again, that's the only thing I'm going to say here. I know I'm kind of taking time talking about stuff I shouldn't be talking about. But again, that's the most important part about yesterday's session was understanding that, yes, if you had the right entries, great, but you also have to manage your exits accordingly. That's why I did get a nice day on Tesla. it was quite nice, right? I didn't get the whole move. Honestly, I really didn't get the whole move, but I did get it into highs here, which was good. I got a move from 350 to 358, which for me is very solid. Looking at this now, I probably could have gotten a re-entry here back at the 355 break and retest and got another move higher back into 364, which would have been another great trade on the Tesla chart. But again, really good day yesterday in Tesla, really nice day. Where are the levels today in Tesla? The levels today in Tesla, what we must watch out for today's session on Tesla is going to understand this first. Okay. First of all, remember we said the case study. The case study was comparing this bull flag, right? The bull flag that was here, comparing that case study to what's here. Okay. Last time we broke out of this bull flag from March 9, right? Or May 9. The May 9 bull flag resulted in an extension move higher of approximately 11% equity move, a $35 move. Let's go by the number here, $35 move, right? The $35 move was the extension move higher. So in theory, we should have a $35 move here, right? We should see this back into 380 plus. That's what you should see on the Tesla chart. But that's all theoretical, right? So that's all theoretical here. Obviously, that's all fun and games. That's fantasy land. The level that we must understand now here on Tesla. So obviously, I'm giving you guys kind of an idea here, right? The fantasy land idea is this goes higher to 380 plus. But the level idea here is we have supply right now at 364, right? The supply right now is at 366. 366 supply is a level we have. If we can break 366, then yeah, I think it's possible we see that fairy tale level at 380, and we can look for that target to play out, right? 381, 380 is a target we'd have here in Tesla for longs after breaking this bull flag. So again, if you're watching Tesla today, look for it to break 366. If it can break 366, you can look for upside back in 381, 380. That's the first thing to watch out for here in Tesla's chart. The second thing to watch out for in Tesla is understanding that this may pull back today. It's okay if this pulls back today. It's fine if it pulls back. In fact, it's good if it pulls back today, right? Where's the pullback set in? The pullback sets in at 355, right? You have a pullback long here at 385. That's your first demand. And your second demand here at 350. That's your second demand here. So two different demands here in Tesla, 355 and your second demand at 350. That's what I'll be watching out for today's session here on Tesla. And again, supply above us, 367. You would have to be an absolute maniac to come in today's session and buy calls right now. You would have to be an absolute animal to do that. You don't want to do that right now. In my opinion, that's not what you want to do. You want to wait for this to break and hold above this 367. If it does, maybe there's a trade there, right? But again, you're not longing into the supply zone because it is supply in front of us. Express, you're awesome, man. Thank you, Express. You are always supporting. Thank you, man. Much appreciated. You guys are crazy. Thank you, Express. Right, so that's Tesla. Nvidia chart, 137 is a level here in Nvidia. 137 is the big level. We have supply, and we have supply. Remember we said the bull flag on Nvidia is in effect, right? Obviously, that's what's still in effect. We have earnings, we have a big E after hours today's session, so I don't know what's going to happen here after earnings. If anybody tells you what they know Nvidia is going to do today after earnings, they don't know what they're saying. Okay, don't trust them. Don't look at them. Don't worry about it, right? Just let's see what happens after earnings. Obviously, right now, Nvidia is trading back into supply here at 137. If we can break and hold above supply, right, that's where we can get upside. But right now, we're in supply here. 137 big supply. Bull flag still the case here, but we must understand that we are back at that technical level of resistance, right? And this just kind of reminds me of that QQQ chart. Remember the QQQ 52250, right? This 137 is kind of the equivalent, right? It's the equivalent here, right? So be careful. Don't be long in 137 today. It is still big resistance, okay? On AMD chart, it's 116, right? If you're looking for AMD today, look for a break and hold above 116. This could be potential trade today, right? Is the break and hold above 116, 116, 116. What happens if you break 116? Remember we said we spoke about this yesterday. 116 is the level. If we break 116, we should see 118.50. We should see 122, right? We should see that bull flag highs here on AMD. So watching to see if AMD can break 116 today. Little break, retest, upside move. That's what to watch out for today's session. Now, there is an argument today. The smart traders, and I'm not saying I'm a smart trader because I probably will be trading AMD today. If AMD breaks 116, I probably will trade it. The smart traders are probably saying they don't want to touch AMD until post Nvidia earnings. There is a case for that, right? So just understand that would be it's a valid mindset because AMD may not move much prior to Nvidia earnings, right? Because of course Nvidia and AMD and all chips are going to move in sympathy. Sympathy meaning they'll move together, they move in groups, right? So you have birds of a feather flock together, right? That's the right saying. I'm probably saying it wrong, but obviously A and B is a sympathy name, so be careful. Trading A and B may be a little choppy today, but above 116, that should be a nice technical trade for a long entry back into 119 and change. Okay, bull flag, bull flag. Okay, SMH. Oh, SMH. SMH back at resistance here, right? You can see SMH is back at resistance here at this 246. My question is, how come you guys didn't remind me to go over SMH yesterday? Nobody said SMH yesterday. Nobody reminded me to go over SMH yesterday. I forgot to go over that, but obviously 246 resistance here, and then above 246 you have 248.60, which is that next big level on SMH. So those are your two levels here in SMH: resistance 1, resistance 2. Demand is back at that level below us around 237, 238. Okay. What else do we have here? Let's go over Apple. Let's shift away from our chip names and let's talk about Apple. So what did we say about Apple yesterday? Apple yesterday, we said Apple is a weak name. We said Apple is a name you want to be short on as long as you're under 200. That was our idea yesterday in Apple. What did Apple do yesterday? Apple was the weakest name yesterday for quite some time, right? It remained the weakest name for a long time. Then suddenly around 11 o'clock, it began picking up some steam. Around 11 o'clock, it picked up some steam and it began pushing higher back into resistance here at 200. It broke above 200. It held 200. And it began to hold it into our close yesterday. And this morning, we are seeing a technical hold above 200 in our pre-market session. So interesting to see Apple. We talked about shorts yesterday in Apple, but now Apple has reclaimed our level here at 200. So what is our mindset here this morning on Apple? This to me it is early stage, but it's right now this chart is trying out for long, right? It's beginning to show us the early stages of is there a potential long here on Apple. Now, most people will look at this chart, and I'll tell you this right now. This is super important. What's going to happen here in Apple is the uptrend right now, this looks like a downtrend. I think most people would say, wow, this is clearly a downtrend. And then somewhere around here, right? Somewhere around here, they're going to say, oh, wow, this is an uptrend, right? Wow, this must be an uptrend. And let's look for longs on Apple now, right? And obviously it does this, and then it rips higher, right? And obviously it's still an uptrend. So maybe this is what happens, right? But you must understand these subtle shifts before they become clearly an uptrend and clearly a downtrend. Because as of right now, this is clearly a downtrend, but it is now becoming an uptrend here. And the reason why is because you're seeing us form a breakout of this downtrend, okay? It's breaking out about 200, it's breaking out of this overall downtrend, and it's now starting to form a high that's above its previous high, right? So let's look and see if Apple can break out today. Apple could actually shift from being one of the weakest names in the market to now one of the strongest names in the market if the market is strong today. So let's look and see what Apple does. Apple is alongside heavy above 200. If we lose 200, I am wrong, right? And Apple likely fails back lower, right? This is what happens if Apple loses 200. We go back into 190. But if Apple maintains 200, this is going to be an incredible long opportunity and an upside trade back into 203, upside trade back above 203 for a move into 205. So let's watch Apple today. Apple could be a contender for long entries. Apple could be a contender for long entries, right? So let's move on. Let's go over Amazon. On the Amazon chart here, we spoke a little bit about this yesterday as well. We spoke about the 20650. Today's session, kind of just recapping yesterday, is just the same thing, right? You have a bull flag here on the Amazon chart, a 1 hour time frame bull flag. You have a high produced here at this 20650. I think this is the most important high here at 20650. If Apple can break it, if Amazon can break and hold above 20650, I think we can look for a move higher back into. Guys, we have 1,300 people here this morning, and we have 442 likes. We have a pretty abysmal like count. Let's get the like count up. It's 902. We went over a lot today. I think we did really well. Let's get the like count up, please. All right, 20650. 20650 is a level today. If we can break 20650, we can look for longs back at 215. That to me is the main thing to watch out for. I have no intention of going long though on this chart unless it breaks 20650. Right, this is the best possible entry. If market pulls back today, the only other level I have as demand here is 202. And wow, we spoke about this yesterday. I think we spoke about 202 yesterday, right? I think we did talk about this 202. Did we talk about 202 yesterday? I think we spoke about 202 in Amazon yesterday. This was another beautiful trade yesterday that we could have taken, was this 202 pullback to our beautiful, beautiful pullback long entry, right? You can see here our highs of our Friday session or Friday level turning into lows on Tuesday morning. That was your long entry on Tuesday, right? Yesterday's session, our long entry should have been here. Today, obviously, 206.50 is your level. Watch and see 206.50 if it can break. We can look for longs there on Amazon's chart, right? DJ Priceless, thank you, man. Thank you, man. That's awesome. Very cool. He just gifted a bunch of subs. That's really cool. Very cool. All right, Meta. Meta. Someone asked, what's the background noise? That is a garbage truck. Hold on. All right. That is a very big garbage truck outside my house. All right. So, Meta's chart, obviously, the level that we're going to talk about today is 643. If Meta can break and hold 643, that's your level today, right? 643 breaks. You guys know I've been speaking about this chart over and over again. Where does it go to if we break 643? We go back into the highs of that Wednesday session, 646.50. But in my opinion, I think that we probably break this level. This is sort of a little bit of a biased talk here, right? But I do think if we break 643, if we break out of the 643 range from yesterday's session, I think we at least test 646, right? But I also would argue that we should clear this level too. There's enough consolidation here for just a rip. So I would argue we probably break this highs as well. Again, I'm kind of forecasting a little bit here, which I shouldn't be doing. But that's what I would think happens here above 643. If we can break 643, this is enough pent up consolidation here to result in an upside push above 646.50. So watch and see if we can break 643. If it can, look for longs above highs. Let's move on. Let's go over three more tickers. Let's go over IQV. IQV. This is a holding company. I don't know if it's a SPAC, but it's some sort of holding company. What is this? This is a health tech biotech company. So on IQV, probably a longer term play here. Yeah, I mean, obviously this is a longer term play. The level that we have to get above is 166 though. I mean, that's your clear line in the sand, right? IQV 166 is your level. Demand below here 81, 82. You have another demand here at 107, and then you have another level here somewhere around this 140, right? 140 being a big level as well. So if you're trading IQV, you're probably trading around 140. You're looking for probably a long entry here around 140, and you're selling back at 166. That's probably what you're doing here in IQV. Okay. Again, that's just a larger term view here. PLTR chart choppy, right? I mean, I would stay away. I would stay away. I mean, unless you are. I mean, it's choppy in the 1 hour, right? You can see the choppiness is very much there on the 1 hour, but on the 5 minute, it's not so choppy. Look at 125, right? Look at 125. You gotta be. You really just gotta be. If you are a POTR trader, you are just a 125 maniac. You are a 125 maniac. That's what you're doing. You're long, you're short, you're long, right? You're just a 125 maniac. So I would say keep scalping 125 until it doesn't work anymore, right? Every time it taps it, look for reversion trades off of it. That's it, right? Just be a 125 trader. That's all you're doing on PLTR. Last ticker. Joshua, you're going all in. Oh, I'm going full port degen on Meta and Nvidia. If I'm zero, start a GoFundMe. All right, Joshua. I will. You know what I'll do? I'll give you your $10 back if you lose on Nvidia. That's what I'll do. All right. WFC. Last ticker of the day. Let's do a little financial name here. WFC. I don't really have anything here on WFC, to be honest with you. WFC, I don't really have much here on this chart. Maybe set at a high here and a low there. That's all I have in WFC. We already went over Meta. Let's do Microsoft. Last one of the day, Microsoft. MSFT. Strong chart, right? About 460 at your level today. Watch 460. That's your big level today. Guys, thank you all for joining in. I will see you guys all for live trading if you trade with us. If you don't, the link is in the description. It should be there. and I'll see you guys all in a few minutes. Safe trading. Bye, guys.